Hey everybody, and welcome to Bits of Board, where we're talking board games, miniatures, cards, and dice. My name's Michael, and this is the evolution of Zombicide, Part 2, where we're checking out the second season of Zombicide, including the Toxic Mall expansion, as well as the Prison Outbreak expansion. Now, Season 2 is where I had gotten into it. Yeah, I'd played a couple of games before, but I had never experienced the Cool Mini or Not campaign, and this was just a wild ride. Unlocking all these new characters and extras, it was just insane. Now, these expansions added new zombies, new characters, new weapons and defenses against the hordes. And we're going to check these out as we have a brief look at everything that each new expansion brings to the table. So without further ado, let's dive in and check it out. Alright, here's our scene from the Toxic Mall expansion. Not much going on at the moment. We've got our survivors parked outside the mall here, and we're just gonna dive right in. Alright, let's have Elsa start off. She is our assassin-looking lady in the back here, and she's going to spend her first action opening the door. She has her trusty crowbar here, so we can open it, and because of the symbol at the top right there, we can see it opens the door silently. So that's very good news. Prying the automatic doors open. Lovely. Now, usually what would happen when a player opens up a new space is we'd populate the area with zombies. Now, I'm just working on the fact that this area up here is boarded up. I'm going to forget about this whole side of the board because you can't really see what's going on there. Anyway, now what would usually happen is that you'd populate each room straight away as soon as you open the doors to the building. Now, one of the differences Toxic Mall throws to us is it gives us these mall locations with these alleys. Now, alleys, for all intents and purposes, act the same way as street locations. They can't be searched, and you don't spawn zombies on them when you open a door. So Elsa's going to take her second action, boom, and she is going to open this door up here with the crowbar, prying it open nicely. That, as you would expect, will spawn zombies. So let's go ahead and grab a card here. We have just a normal zombie card mixed in here, so that's just going to be one walker zombie. We're playing at yellow level, just so you know, for today. So let's chuck our walker in there, and boo, there is a zombie. Now our next character, Raoul, will activate, and he's been having a bit of a tiff with Elsa, so he's not going to be helping out at all. He's going to take his first, second, and third action to open this door here. Now he's carrying his chainsaw, so he's gonna bust that door open, causing a little bit of noise in the meantime. Opening that door and spawning a zombie. Here we go. We have some toxic zombies spawn, and this is not good at all. We've actually spawned a toxic abomination. That's what that little plus there means. These are the big, scary models. So we chuck one of those in the room, and Raoul realizes he has made a terrible, terrible mistake. Now, just for the sake of keeping things interesting, let's make a bit of a narrative here. The roar of the newly found abomination calls zombies like nothing else. Zombies situated in the other two store locations crash bang out of there, stumbling into the middle section of the mall. There we go. Now we got something little going on. Now Raoul, because he's in the yellow section on his player board, he's going to make a little break for it here and sort of get out of the way because he knows the guys aren't going to be able to do too much about this. So he retreats into the space with Elsa and says, look, sorry about that, maybe you could help me out a little. Next, Nima is going to come in, jumping into the space with the other characters there, and she's going to try and take care of this zombie up top. She's got a shotgun, so all good there. She's going to roll 2 dice and hope for 4 pluses. Let's do this. Alright, well, we missed with one, we hit with the other, so that one is gone, and we'll just increase the experience up there. Now, Nima taking the shot will create a noise token, and for her third action, she would definitely like to shoot the zombies up here, but because her shotgun's only got that range of 0 to 1, she's not going to be able to hit. So she's going to have a look at the room, look at the impending danger, and kind of make a break for it. Lastly, we've got Derek, our yellow survivor over here. Now he's a bit crazy because he carries around a concrete saw. This is an absolutely great weapon. He doesn't even know where he got it from. It may have been from another expansion. No one knows. But The thing to note about this one is it is capable of doing 3 damage in one hit, meaning that out of all the weapons we've seen so far, this is the only one that can take out this abomination. Unfortunately, for the sake of this video, he's a little spent. He spent all of his movement and actions getting to this location, so we're just gonna see how this plays out. Each zombie will now take its action moving to the loudest noise. Now the loudest noise came from over here, so each zombie is going to move into, well, a spot closer to this location. Now something cool happens whenever you get normal zombies in a spot with a toxic abomination. They morph, they change into toxic zombies themselves. Grab them, pop them there, and we're good to go. Let's go ahead and spawn a couple more zombies up here just for good looks, and we'll continue on. Next, Raoul's gonna have a go. And without knowing too much about the sort of zombie here, he's just going to run in and wave his chainsaw around. Now, he knows he can't kill the abomination, but he thinks he's gonna be able to take out the other two. So he's gonna spend one action moving, and he's gonna have a bit of a swing with his chainsaw. 5 dice for the chainsaw, so let's give that a roll. And we get a number of hits here. 3 hits, enough to take out the 2 standard walker zombies, which is fantastic. But, and this is where the toxic expansion really slaps you in the face. Every time you kill a toxic zombie in close combat, they deal 1 wound to you immediately. Raoul suffers 2 wounds straight up. We're gonna lay him down there, taking him out of the game. Or will it? Anyway, we're gonna lay him down here and have the other survivors act. Nima's freaking out, so she's gonna go for a run. See you, Nima. Never has she seen an abomination before. Anyway, Raoul, all, rested up from his last turn, he's gonna run in and he's going to try and take out the abomination with that concrete saw. So 1, 2, let's get that concrete saw going. 3 dice, we need a 5+, let's lose these ones. Come on. Here we go. All right, we made a 6, which means this toxic abomination is out of the game. Derek gains 5 experience for having killed the abomination. However, he also suffers 1 wound from the toxic blood spray. That's like, it's sort of like Alien, if you've seen that. Anyway, we chuck a couple of noise tokens down there for the chainsaw and the concrete saw, and move on. Finally, Elsa's gonna have her go. She's carrying a katana, so she's gonna move in 1, 2, and for her 3rd and final action, she's gonna swing that katana. Let me get some light on that for you. She's gonna take 2 dice. She's hoping for 4+, and there's no risk here because these guys are just standard walkers, so as long as she can kill both, it'll be okay. Whoops. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, cool. That's good. That's fine. Anyway, all the survivors are done. We move to the next zombie activation. So all these zombies here will move over into Elsa's spot. We spawn some more zombies, and it's pretty much game as usual. Now, one of the other things that this expansion and Season 2 as a whole brings to the table is zombivores. Now, usually, whenever a survivor in the standard version of Zombicide were to cark it, were to die, were to be eaten by zombies, they would be removed from the game. A player would have to grab a new survivor from the pool of survivors and start from scratch. But that's no longer the only option. Season 2 has presented to us a zombivores alternative rule, whereby a killed off player will be replaced by their zombivore counterpart. So here's Raoul as his standard living self. He's got webbing, he's got +1 action in the yellow section, and that's what he's got going for him at this stage. We flip this over, and as you can see here, we turn him into a zombivore. Now, obviously, survivors they're strong, they're powerful people, so that when they get bitten by zombies, they fight the infection, and in turn become a lot stronger, taking on that zombie-ness of the infection and bringing it to their advantage. Now, as you can see, he's still got his webbing ability here, but loses his additional action space. Instead, he receives a free search action every turn, so he's not going to get as many actions, and that's sort of him being a little slower, a little bit more encumbered, but he does still live, which is a bonus. The trade-off for that, of course, is now instead of 2 wounds to kill him, it's going to take a full hand of 5 wounds to kill him off, meaning he's going to be an exceptional tank throughout the game. So we replace his old model with this one here, and we continue. Some other things to keep an eye out for are building of barricades. So barricades are these, well, I have the 3D model pack, so I'm going to be showing you them off today. They're these little bits here. Now these take 3 actions in a row to build half of. So say our mate, let's go with Raoul here because he's only got 3 to play with. He's going to spend all 3 actions to build this barricade here. He's going to try and build it all the way across here. Now at this point the barricade can be, jumped over by other characters, can be, even more importantly, moved through by zombies as well. But if a character manages to spend another 3 action points to build the barricade, it will be completed fully. Let me put that on there. And then that barricade becomes impassable. Now, obviously, the zombies could just, sidestep and come around. But if a player were to fully erect a barricade across that section, it would become impassable. And instead of trying to move over here, zombies will try and find the shortest way around to get to survivors. Yeah. The game also includes these rubble tokens that you can see here, and they just fully block off sections of the game. So if this was, if that was our current situation, zombies would not be able to move into this section because that has been crumbled in. The ceiling is caved in. There's absolutely no way that anyone could pass through there. So yeah. Now they're the main additions. We've also got Ultra Red mode, whereby we throw a couple of new and crazy powerful items into the deck. The drawback on those guys is you can only use them once you've hit the end of your experience tracker. And this is Ultra Red mode, which allows you to continue the game. Once a player hits the end of their experience track, they can come back to the very beginning and continue to earn experience, picking up any additional skills that they haven't chose. So for example, the first time Raoul went through, he chose to take Death Grasp as his skill there. The next time he comes through, he can pick up Horde to be, fully powered up into that orange section here. All right, so that's what's new with the Toxic Mall expansion. Let's have a look at Prison Outbreak. Alrighty, so here is our Prison Outbreak scenario for the day. Our friends Grinlock, our zombivore Grinlock over here, and Kim are in the prison courtyard, and they're going to try and save their friend Joshua up here. Now Joshua's found his way to the top of a lookout tower, and he thought it'd be a good idea because he has a rifle and he thought he could just shoot everyone down and that'd be fine. Unfortunately for him, these berserker zombies here, they are impervious to any ranged damage. So he's all but useless, except for in the case of these couple of little zombies hanging around. Alright, so let's get things going. Firstly, our zombivore Grinlock, he's going to run into this space here, 1 action down. He's going to use his free melee action because that's his yellow. Of course, he's got a chainsaw because his model's got a chainsaw, so we just go with that. Let's roll our dice. Now, because we're in melee, we don't have to abide by the targeting priority, so our mate chooses to take out this zombie and this one here. Beauty. We gain some experience for that, and we throw down a noise token because it's loud. Now, before Grinlock takes his next action, he's going to use his special ability, Taunt. This allows a player to choose any location with zombies and give them an immediate activation. So we taunt this location, bringing in a bunch of zombies, and we have another go with that chainsaw. Oh, not a great roll, not a great roll at all. Just 1 hit, so we'll take out one of the berserker ones, gain that experience, and all good. All right, Kim's gonna run in and try and save Grinlock here, jumping into the fray. Kim's got 2 trusty claw hammers. Now, because these have got the dual wielding symbol on the top there, these can be combined to make 1 super attack. So we're going to be rolling a total of 6 dice here, looking for 5 pluses. Let's see how we go. Okay, so that was pretty rubbish. Only 1 hit there. Luckily for Kim, she's got her own skill called Lucky, allowing her to re-roll all the dice. So it's an all or none kind of thing. And because it's only 1 hit, let's just take a chance and roll the lot. So this is our re-roll. A little bit better. We got 2 hits here. So we'll take out those 2 berserkers there, gaining some experience. For her third action, she's going to try and take out the other zombie in the location. It should be good. Yes, an easy kill. Very nice. Awesome stuff. Finally, Joshua's going to have a go. He's going to take a shot with his rifle here and try and take out this zombie over there. I'll show you why that works. We roll the dice, we score the 6, we take the hit. Now, in targeting priority, the Berserker zombies are actually hit after the standard zombies and after the toxic zombies as well. The toxic zombies actually get hit first in that occasion. So, because it works in our favor, he takes this zombie out, gaining an experience. For his next action, he's going to descend the watchtower. For the third and fourth action, he's going to bail over here. Alright, so that's all of the survivors done. So all of the zombies on the board will move to the loudest location, being over here. They'll take one move. So this guy, he's going to run around here to try and take them out. And this one's going to head into their square. Now, I alluded to it, but we've also got some zombies floating around up here. So let's move them as well. We have some runners getting to activate twice. So that's their first activation. We've also got a Berserker Abomination. Uh-oh. Now runners get their second activation, moving another spot closer to the loudest noise. And as a special rule for Berserker Abominations, they also get a second activation. Not good. Now at this point, it's probably a good idea to mention the special rules for Barbed Wire, which is one of the new rules they brought in for the expansion. Barbed wire does not block line of sight, so these zombies here can see everything going on in here, meaning that they would normally just pile up around a location in the hopes of, getting to the zombie on the other side. Usually it's no big deal for our players. However, abominations have the ability to break down barbed wire. These guys are going to be in for the fight of their lives. Let's give Kim a go at taking out the zombies there. It's 6 dice going for the 5+. Very nice. Take him out easily. Now it's Grinlock's turn with his chainsaw. He's going to move over here. One action. He's going to take his free combat action and take out this guy, hopefully. No. No good. Free combat action sucked. Let's go again. Taking his second actual action. That's better. We take him out. Sometimes the dice just don't go in your favor. Now at this point, Grinlock has realized, oops, there's an abomination over here. So he's going to bail up the tower. Ooh, Kim, having forgotten to move earlier, will go back in time and change that, making our way through here. So it would have been 1 action to kill the zombies, 2 to move there, 3 and 4 actions to get up there because there was a zombie in there. Joshua, he's freaking out. He's only a blue, so he's only got 3 actions. 1, 2, 3. Let's get him up there. Excellent. At this point, the zombies will take their activation. Here's our first activation. The abomination breaks through the barbed wire fence, and so do the runners, and then they get their second activation as well. Things just started getting real for the survivors, and that's where we will leave them for today. So that's about all of the new stuff that they've brought into the game. There are little bits and pieces, like we've got, let's just shove all this out of the way. So we've also got movable tiles in the game as well. As you can see here, we have a little wall along the edge of this tile here, see? There we go. Which means players can't go through it, right? So we've introduced these little consoles here that players can use an activation on to activate, and then these will twist around, allowing players to fully make use of, different areas in the game. It doesn't add heaps to the game, of course, but it does add to that prison theme where, there are going to be some areas that are off limits unless players can get the right clearance. We've also got coloured doors with access keys, but yeah, that's about it. Cool. Now, because this was a Kickstarter campaign, there are a couple of added extras to spice things up a little bit. My favourite of them being the Zombie Dogs expansion and the Dog Companions expansion. Now, with Zombie Dogs, we were given a small chance of them appearing through the spawn deck, adding a much quicker, much more vicious style of zombie onto the table. And with the Dogs Companions, we were added much the same. You could either start with a dog, or you could add them into the items deck, stumble upon a pooch as you're searching through the ruins of an office building, that that sort of thing. And these guys, of course, improve your character's abilities throughout the game. Now, while they didn't add too much to the game, I think it's pretty neat to have some zombie dogs now, so yeah, that's cool. It was in the new zombie types from the expansions that we truly got a new way to play the game. The toxic zombies from the Mall expansion, giving us a reason to fear close combat. And the berserker zombies from the prisons, giving us, no alternative but to dive in with those close combat weapons. And yes, they are essentially two sides of the same coin. Their strengths and weaknesses complement each other enormously. As soon as you get a space on the board that is mixed with all three zombie types, you're in for some tough decisions on how to deal with these things. So we've got new zombies, yeah, we've got some barricades and some other interesting ways to navigate the map, but we've got zombivores now. And these are just a slam dunk for this game. I know there were probably whispers of these back in Season 1 days, but to be able to resurrect your survivors to come back as these slightly slower but super powerful killing machines, man, that's an absolute winner. And they lend themselves so well to the campaign style of gameplay. That and those ultra red weapons where you can start chewing through zombies. Fantastic. And it's an absolute treat to be able to bring something like that into one of those more difficult missions out there and still clean it up. But the addition of the zombivores brings us another metric ton of plastic to keep organized. And this is where the game probably starts to bog down just a little bit. Because now you've not only got a couple of groups of zombies, you have no less than 13 different types of zombie to keep track of and store on the table while you play. That is too much. No, it's crazy. We've got walkers of each of the three types. We've got our three types of runners, fatties, abominations, and now the zombie dogs, and we have just run out of table space. This game already had a huge table footprint, and now we're expected to keep a little bit of it saved up for these models. It's a little bit crazy and a little bit hard to manage, but that's Zombicide, hey. What is Zombicide? What is Cool Mini or not without the huge amounts of cool plastic miniatures? So whether or not you get to bring them to the table each time, I think it's definitely worth having these guys. The sculpts are awesome. Each of the three different types of zombies, they look like they belong to that type. Like the berserkers are just these huge, muscly creatures that they look like they're gonna wreak havoc through all of your survivors. The toxic zombies have got spikes, disgusting, sludgy, rotten flesh, and it's great. So yeah, Zombicide Season 2 definitely upholds the standard of Cool Mini or not. Alright, so that takes us out of Season 2 and leads us nicely into Season 3 with the Rue Morgue and Angry Neighbors expansions, bringing us the Skinner zombies, the Seeker zombies, and a whole new competitive way of playing the game that will drive gaming groups against each other for the ultimate clash on who can be the dang best zombie killer of the lot. If you got any questions or anything like that, chuck them down in the comments below, say hi, do whatever you gotta do. But beyond that, that's about it for today. So, as always, my name's Michael, this is Bits of Board, we'll catch you next time.